You ready, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Hi, welcome to the National Quiz Choice Online News. Hi, I'm Robin Stienberg. Thank you for joining me right now this afternoon. I have a special guest who's with me, and he's actually the chairman and CEO of BMA Capital Management Limited, based in Pakistan, and he's Mr. Moazzam M. Malik, and he's here with me right now. He's going to be sharing with us some of the upcoming activities that's going on in Pakistan, especially the elections. And if you are concerned about equities and stocks, as well as investments, he's going to give you some of the insights right now. Mr. Malik, thank you for joining us here at the National Quiz Choice. Say hi. Now, tell us about the domestic general elections coming up in Pakistan, and how does that going to affect the investors?
Well, I think in elections is always a time of uncertainty. So an uncertainty tends to translate itself into people and investors staying away from the markets and waiting to see the outcomes. So we have an election coming up, and I think it's encouraging to see that the current government has tried to follow a process of appointing independent monitors to the election commission, which are acceptable to most parties. But recently, the coalition won the Senate elections a few months back. So that's encouraging to see. We hope the elections will be quite smooth, but at the same time, I think there's going to be a fragmented government post-election. And one of the new entrants that you will see is Mr. Malik, who is a former cricketer and also somebody who has set up a cancer hospital in Lahore, a large cancer hospital that does complete charity work. So he comes with some very strong credentials, and he is most likely going to be the new player on the block in the politics in Pakistan.
Now, is the new government, if there is a new government coming in Pakistan, are they going to take action against the area of corruption?
I think corruption is endemic in most societies. I think if you would tell me there is no corruption on Wall Street, I would be very surprised. But I think what's happening is that Pakistan is an economy on the move, and if you analogize it with a car, I think we are burning fuel, and some of the carbon monoxide that comes out as a consequence of the movement of the car and progress is the corruption in most societies. What has started to happen is that we have an independent judiciary and a very active independent judiciary, I must say, which will not tolerate any kind of corrupt practice taking place in Pakistan. We also have a very strong and vibrant media. We've got something like 50 channels and a large circulation of newspapers who will be more than happy to disclose or to kind of bring to light any kind of corrupt practice to win contracts. Corruption typically occurs, Robin, where somebody is trying to do something with a shortcut or in a fast track and not following the normal procedures. And in my 20 years, I've basically been brought up and lived in the UK and came to Pakistan 20 years ago to start BMA Capital. And in my experience, we've never had to fast track or shortcut to try to win big mandates. And as our firm, we've done probably some of the largest transactions coming out of Pakistan. So I think we were talking yesterday, I think it's important to know when you come into a culture or into a new country, from a foreign investor's perspective, that you have the right type of people you're working with. You navigate, and I say quote unquote, navigate the landscape carefully. And then it really it's up to individuals who want to have something much faster or through a shortcut that will adopt that. But corruption is an endemic problem around the globe, and we try to handle it wherever we face it. We've got Transparency International, we can report things to Transparency. There are complete processes whereby there are rules by which you actually get government contracts. If you think something unfair has happened, you can raise it. And those recently, for example, we had a contract that was being advertised by the Pakistan Telecom Authority, and it was felt that there were some processes that had not been followed. and the finance minister, who is Dr. Abhishek, cancelled the process and has recalled dates. So it is encouraging to see, where you hear so much about corruption, that these positive things do happen. Added to this corruption, I think corruption is endemic sometimes in the where tax is being collected, the Federal Board of Revenue. And I think there has been an effort to try to introduce technology so that there can be no human element in it, or lesser human element in it. So I'm encouraged to see it. There is corruption. I don't dispute that. But I think there is an effort to try to, over a period of time, reduce the component of corruption within our economy.
Now, Mr. Malik, also tell us why you think that investors should, invest in Pakistan right now. What kind of opportunities do investors see in Pakistan?
Look, I think first and foremost, people should invest because purely driven from the perspective of return. I think in a global environment where there are 0% interest rates, if you look at Japan, if you look at the US, if you look at Europe, where there are 0% interest rates, and there is no understanding yet to the scale of the problem. I mean, I think if you look at the US, the debt market and the size of the overall problem is probably going to run into $180 trillion. And that's, just by some estimates. So if you want to get return, Pakistan gave a 35% return last year. I think, as I said, despite the fact that it went up by 35%, today it is at a discount of between 30 to 40% to its regional market. There's no reason that it should be there. And like I said, I think if you can pierce through the veil of the smoke screen that one hears from all the news media internationally, where bad news sells, you can actually come into a land of opportunity. And I think Pakistan is the wild, wild east.
Now, speaking about the Wild East, and I will not want to emphasize that Pakistan is not exactly a Wild East, but a very serious country that's moving towards a very strong approach on stock markets, and that is, what's the behavior like in the stock market today in Pakistan? Because it seems that there are more and more companies are more willing to list themselves in especially the Karachi Stock Exchange. What do you see in the next coming 6 to 12 months?
Look, I think we have a great regulator, and the new regulator that's taken over. He is insightful, he understands the market, and he has a keen eye on the future and a vision. There is an immediate advantage, as you know, of listing on the Karachi Stock Exchange, because when you list, your income tax rate goes down as a consequence of your listing on the Karachi Stock Exchange. There is an endeavor to try to increase the market capital and the number of companies listed on the Karachi Stock Exchange. So I see a positive future in terms of new companies coming online, and with demutualization and with electronic trading that's been introduced in the markets. Now, as our company, for example, we are in the process of not just providing electronic trading on computers, but also allowing people to be able to trade on their mobiles and their Android cell phones. So I see with the penetration of mobile phones and telephony, with the costs of mobile telephony coming down, we see a lot more investment taking place domestically into the stock market. I must tell you that right now our stock market is it's a vibrant market despite the fact that there is no leverage problem. This is a cash market. So what you've seen is people have not been scared away by events, domestic events. They've actually kept their money in the market. Where we see a tremendous potential is there's been liquidity events where the government has allowed people to actually not have to disclose their income if they buy in the stock market and hold the shares for 4 months. So that's been a huge liquidity event domestically. If foreign investors come in, and added to that, if there is a product which is a leverage product, where you can actually borrow from the bank against your shares and buy more shares, we see that this market could quite comfortably give you the same returns this year in dollar terms that it's given in last years.
What kind of advantages do you see that prospective investors were able to get from? Could you give three key points that investors are able to gain from these futures, from these investments that they made?
Well, I think I think from a foreign investor's perspective, the ease of investing in Pakistan, both on the stock market as well as in direct investment, are very good. The overall systems are very good. We have procedures by which foreigners can invest directly into the stock market in foreign exchange and repatriate their original investment at 100%, as well as all the profits and dividends. So there is no restrictions at all, and it's a fairly kind of documented, straightforward procedure, which is known as the SCRA, which is Special Convertible Rupee Account. And if you bring your investment through these types of accounts, you can, as I said, take your money out at any time. The government of Pakistan, the second reason is, the government of Pakistan has never defaulted on its commitments. Even during the time that we had nuclear tests taking place in 1998, there was no restrictions on foreigners being able to take their foreign exchange out, albeit with a little bit of a delay, but it's always been there. So as a nation, we've got a robust foreign exchange reserve, and then investments has been coming in, and then we expect that people who come and invest will be able to enjoy a good return.
What kind of key factors for investors to look out for when it comes to investment in Pakistan? What kind of commodities would you recommend for investors to look out for?
Which companies?
Well,
I mean, I think
companies or commodities.
The largest sector on the Karachi Stock Exchange is the oil and gas sector, and if you're looking at investments on the stock market, oil and gas sector offers some very interesting opportunities. The banking sector, we have unheard of returns for banks in Pakistan. Spreads are between 7 to 8%. In addition, if you look at the cement sector, we expect a tremendous amount of growth for 2 or 3 reasons. One, domestic consumption for cement is going up. It's a seasonal demand. Now the season is beginning. Secondly, we're opening up borders with India. So there's a lot of trade activity that's actually started. We've created special customs facilities at the border at Wagah, which allows for goods to be able to travel comfortably between India and Pakistan. There's a lot of unofficial trade, but once that trade opens up, we see cement companies benefiting immensely. In addition, if you look at what's happening in Afghanistan, with the US troops planning to leave and exit by 2014, we see a healthy growth in the Afghan market for requirements for cement. So all in all, I think I would say if one was to pick a few companies in Pakistan, I would look at the fertilizer sector, I would look at oil and gas, I would look at banks, and I would look at the cement sector.
Well, thank you for joining us, Mr. Malik, here at the National Quiz Choice Sale Hyatt, and thank you for joining us here at the National Quiz Choice Sale Hyatt show. I'm here with Mr. Moazzam, and I'm Malik, who is the chairman and CEO for BMA Capital Management Limited based in Pakistan. And for further information, if you wish to find out more of investing in Pakistan, especially capital markets and equities, please contact them at info@bmacapital.com, or you can look at their website www.bmacapital.com. I'm Robin Steinberg. Have a good week ahead.